Said fight.
Yeah,
Rakan, so easy to lock this one in with the setup you already have. And for Hanwha Esports, you have a lot of engage, you have really decent poke. The follow-up is so easy with Rakan and Kai'Sa here. If you have a good you won't be able to keep trying to kill you forever.
Yep, well, Duro gonna flash, gets that pulverized headbutts Viper back as decent knock up there from Delight, who's trying to battle dance his way around. Decent little barrier, but it's still Ruler that's able to grab the first blood for Gen.G. Perfect, like both DRX and KT were struggling for a lot of different reasons. But still, we'll see whether Keen can complete Peanut over there. We'll be able to secure that one, but Gen.G not wasting resources. Heading over there as there's a Gnar back. Duro taking the turret for a very long time. The wallop is so good, and Duro just gonna get knocked on the head. Ruler not
it's
able
gonna be
to...
tough to actually collapse. Ruler though.
Ruler was seen. Takes a fair bit of damage, but there's the ulti from Peanut. Remember, he's in the game. And they're gonna be able to take down. They grab that pick onto Ruler, and they go about their business.
And, you know, Peanut used his ult for that last pick. Doesn't want to actually commit any further here. And I think it was this one up.
Well, Peanut is in fog of war for the moment as he dashes over. There's the steal. Thank you very much for that one. Chemtech Soul going to be this game as Peanut thrown around like a ragdoll and I think is going to die. So a bit of a sacrifice of himself.
On the Peanut is pretty massive after he got picked off. Doesn't have the same massive lead that he had over Viper earlier on, but still pretty big.
Yeah, Zeka underneath the turret here.
Peanut lurking.
Yeah, there's another ulti. The Valkyrie was buffered decently and the flash out does come on through. But now the quickness to stop Canyon from being able to do anything. Ruler is trying to free hit as best he can, but he doesn't quite have the damage as Viper. Even able to turn around and claim the kill onto the Vi. And an ulti from Zeka pulls him under the turret, and then he kind of regrets all of his decisions as the buttons go wide. And he's charged a little bit closer to the Vi than he maybe needed to. But still, as you say, played it out just fine. And once I've seen this movie before. Is this a replay once again? Is Peanut going to flash over that wall? Vault Breaker going to come out from Canyon. I don't think Peanut's out of the woods just yet. And by just yet, I mean, I don't think he's ever going to get out of the... Okay, maybe he's fine. Going to have a look towards the top side here as the knockup is going to be absorbed there by Keen as Yakety Sax plays in the background on the bottom side as Keen just kind of outplaying. He's way too tanky. Does have the Iceborne Gauntlet now completed. And Gen.G just kind of mitigating aggression everywhere. Yeah, although I don't know what Peanut was doing. Is that called aggression? I'm not sure. Well, Gen.G are going to look to try and take down this turret. And they should be able to do so.
A bit weird there. Teleport from Zeka.
Yeah, we're coming in once more as Zeka now looking to try and do the damage that he can as Zeus picks up the Mega Gnar just in time, but Keen is still alive!
Yeah, this is a Cassante.
Yeah, let's just kill the turret, guys, or something like that. The house is going to connect here as Zeus is going to look to just try and finish him off. Will he find it? He just eats the CC because he's Cassante, ladies and gentlemen, and now Chovy's going to finish off
the Herald here for Gen.G. Because they only have one of those objectives secured, it will be their second, and this means Hanwha Life, they can secure
some more damage on the inner. As you can see though, I mean, there's not really a whole lot of money in it on either side, as this might be some money. Cease and Desist comes on through. Zeus is pretty tanky, but maybe not tanky enough as he does get the double hop. The ulti comes through as Zeus, he gets to safety. Peanut with the prison save.
Peanut here just in the nick of time, but
oh no, if he dies now, that would be very, very sad as Canyon moves over, doesn't find the Vault Breaker as Arctic Assault does a decent amount of work. Zeus alive for way too long as the Winter's Wrath, one more auto, and Peanut takes down his opposite number. So a 1-for-1 in that top lane. Duro underneath this turret trying to take it down if he can. The quickness is decent, charming up almost everyone here as Delight looks to make his way out. Chovy now in trouble as the Unbound Soul from Zeka gets him over there and shuts down the mid laner. And now Ruler finds himself in amongst everyone and is unable to get even the tiniest little bit of damage under Delight to take him down. Maybe, just maybe wanted to allow his ex-teammate to...
Zeus has teleport.
Yeah, you can see the Unbound Soul does come on through. Pulverize as Zeka is trying to get himself out of there. They block the ulti, so he'll have to flash. Cease and Desist comes in. Vault Breaker pushes him back, and Zeka, even though he gets a cute little shield, it's not going to be enough. Viper takes down an outer turret and goes into melee range against Keen. I don't know about that one. Keen goes all out. There's a big shield with the barrier and the knockups. Delight saves the life of his AD carry. And Keen Sante going to fall. There's the ulti from Chovy. The flash out of the way as the ex-teammate is looking to punish. Will the Void Seeker connect as Viper? He's lining it up. He's lining it up, and Zeus says, take a house. Never mind, it's actually Peanut. They're going to sacrifice Otacon for it, though, so I don't know whether it's necessarily worth.
I think
as Gen.G,
I mean, they're still gonna get it, but like the mid is just getting ripped to shreds here. 3 kills.
I mean, and it's only 2 buffs.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's 2 kills plus a third. The Otacon is gonna go over, like you said, several players dead when it is obtained. But look at how much farm is also being lost in mid. Zeus is getting the top turret, and it was a great macro game for Gen.G up until this point. But Hanwha Life really just proven that, I mean, Viper has the backup in this game. It's going back to that 80 carry key player matchup. You know, the guy is...
You have a 4v4 teleport to come down here as Keen is going to make sure that this Gnar does not steal things away, and it's going to be a return as the teleport now from Zeus in response, so it's going to be a 4 versus 5. The quickness is so good. Under 3 here is, my God, Delight and Rakan, ladies and gentlemen. But this knockup, the Pulverize, is just phenomenal, and they're sending everyone back home in a body bag, or as far as a Otacon recall. The bottom lane
is very far away.
He is. Peanut is in the area. As Zeus, he can Mega Blast cone his way over. That will put a Gnar in a very awkward position as there's a Glacial Prison. Headbutt pulls Peanut out of there. But now Zeus, look at this Naba. They're all up against the wall, and now Peanut is blocking them in there. The quickness comes down as Delight gets into the back line. And there's the 5-man Gnar from Zeus! As Keen tries to go all out, but honestly, I think he wants out of this game as HLE just destroy them.
Vintage Zeus Gnar. His Gnar bar was perfectly set. Peanut knew it, and he set them up. And that is going to be a real team fight win. It doesn't get better than this, but Zeus was so well set up for this, and it was a greedy, risky call for Gen.G, but they thought there's no way we're
based on the buff.
So much of this game for me is Gen.G having good macro, right? And playing the map well, but Peanut's still having some really nice pathing to shut down some of the bigger advantage Gen.G could have gotten. But I think a lot of this game is really going to be remembered as Viper being focused, but getting away with it, you know? Yeah. Every single time and getting so big, and then Hanwha Life with that goal, just team fighting brilliantly around this Gnar, around this Yone, the Rakan.
Haven't really felt that impact that we do get from Canyon and Chovy generally in their matches, and we otherwise would, as here's the pick-off. The quickness going to be layered. Canyon, he couldn't do anything. He was basically CC'd and then dead, as now Gen.G just looking to try and back away. Great interruption there from Duro, but the CC coming out once again as Zeka just going to go back to his soul. They're going to grab this inhibitor, and Delight is just fishing, going for one after the other. And there's the flash forward from Peanut, finds the Winter's Wrath onto Chovy, and then just dies. But they take down these Nexus turrets. HLE with game number 1 on the red side, picking up this victory. So many comfort picks, but you can see exactly why these champions are so good for them. They're able to take it home with some great team fighting in this game.
Absolutely. And I think because we had that... Well, he cocoons the Braum.
I'm kind of into the Braum. The Braum angle's pretty good.
It really allows you to control how the level 1 goes very well, too, and potentially stop some lane swaps. And because Wukong in this game is going to be tough.
This wave in a pretty good spot for Keen just to hold on to it. Canyon going to be canceling this one. You can see Peanut not really in the area. No knockup going to come through, but Keen is keeping him interested for now. Canyon shows himself, and Zeus going to do his very best doing some alcove gaming here. Knockup going to be available with that Searing Charge, but now Canyon with the Nimbus Strike and with the ability to close that gap is going to be looking all right. As does he have a Scrap Shield? No! First Blood goes over to the black.
Quite connect, and Delayed over here, trying to make something happen again. This wave's not in a great spot to follow up, but they want to try.
Yep, Battle Braum, he's going to dive on top of Ruler. The door is going to be given. That is decent peel from Duro, but now Ruler with no flash is trying to survive as, oh god, Zeus is possibly just dead. Scrap Shield at the right time, but Keen just flashes on in. And there's the Ornn solo kill onto the Rumble.
This is what can happen when Ornn gets that kill early, picks up some magic resistance, and he's able to buy a the cowl from, you know,
yeah, Spectre's Cowl's also so good against Rumble.
Yeah, he just puts it together and he's like, why just keep pushing these advantages and I trade up against you repeatedly. He's got grasp and eventually just run Zeus down in the lane. You hit some of those knockups, you end up winning out. They don't force the issue on the Ruler because he has
does have his flash back up and available. Chains of Corruption going to be coming on through as Viper now getting lower and lower. Winter's Bite goes wide. Magnustorm picks up both of the tanks. Chains of Corruption there as well as Canyon's in with the Cyclone. They try and mitigate as best they can, but it is not enough. And there's a kill going over to Ruler. Zeus, not entirely sure about that one, buddy. And he is going to...
that back comes in. Man, you have no control there. There's a Rel, there's a Wukong. It's not a winnable fight. You teleport, they're aware of this, so there's a really nice window here for them to come over and take this dragon. You can see Canyon's trying to get something back. Is going to go over here. A team fight is on the cards for a while. Zeus may get caught again.
Yeah, Canyon's moving on up, and yeah, I don't think Zeus is getting out of this one. Yeah, some hammer boops. Wanting to get these 5 minions towards that turret. Audacious charge from Peanut onto Duro. Magnustorm going to come through the point-blank heroic charge as Peanut's flashing away the Cyclone, doing a fair bit of work here. Zeka trying to be tanky, goes back in. I don't know about that one, as there's the snipe, just one after the other. We're all able to take the kill onto Peanut as well as some icing on the cake.
They may have gone lethal tempo, but the poke is still lethal as well, even without the lethality. And yeah, it's 2 here for Gen.G and the turret.
And the feats of strength as everyone's flashing. And yeah, Canyon looking for a little bit more. Pretty soon, only a couple of levels away from that. In fact, just 1 level away from building his first one. And then he's going to be able to make all of the other players stop gathering. And turrets now falling by the wayside. The outer on the bottom side of the map, not long for the world, as we're looking for
Chovy?
A Hextech Dragon. Yeah, Chovy could be in trouble. Zeus almost just dies as the heroic entrance comes on in. They do manage to get the Justice Punch, but Chovy's so tanky. Now Canyon looking to take down this Rumble. That is going to be successfully executed, but it's a 1-for-1 in the end. And now the Ornhorn's coming through. The triple knock up everyone just in the blender as Viper and Ruler are fighting, and we know that that is not a fair one. Delight goes down. Peanut trying to do his very best as these health bars are so low. And Peanut going to get knocked up. Duro takes that as his opportunity to crash on through. They do manage to take down the Wukong. And Peanut does have a lot of sustain in these fights. Wind becomes lightning. And they do need to kill Keen. He's a lot of money to be taken down. But instead, Keen's looking to try and get it himself. The mini taunt, though, is going to be great. And now Duro has no damage.
Knockouts coming through. Keen gets the double. Knocks up with the Rel. Then gets the secondary knockup with the secondary activation of the Ornhorn. And the Forge God is on his side.
Yeah.
And then Keen flashes in for the kill here. And we end up getting a few more knockups in this exchange. And Peanut gets his own. And there's an extended fight. If Ruler was here, this would have been a disaster. Peanut getting that last Sundered Sky proc. Some of the flexibility of the build, you start getting ahead like this. If you were considering going for Pimple Winter, you can just change it up, build your tier
against Canyon. Does have the dash cannon, but my goodness, this is a Wukong that's doing a fair bit of work. Finds another charge there as in goes Peanut and finds Ruler. There's the flash taunt, and Ruler once again. This mid lane has not been his best friend, and now Keen sets up the train. Will he be able to get the knockups? Of course he will, as Canyon takes down the enemy 80 carry, but now the Bash Bros are getting back to it. Zeus is looking real healthy, and Peanut and Delight just struggling to take damage here in this game. Zeka as well going to be okay, and 3 are on the floor for Gen.G. How did that work?
I get it.
HLE.
I get it. You know, you've got a cleaver, Canyon, and you want to use it, and
yeah,
it's cleaving. Well, there is no reason to make
it. It's down to a 3,000 gold lead now. Remember, yeah, HLE, they had an extra dragon, and now they're all piling on top of Peanut. Gen.G back on the horse once again, getting rid. Could be a 4-stack here for Gen.G if they continue stacking them up.
And for a lethal tempo Varus, he's going to love it.
A little bit unfortunate.
He has a arm guard, so he's got one big fight maybe.
All right, possible battle coming on through here as we could have a Gargoyle joining at any time. Viper free hitting over the wall is fantastic positioning. Knock up onto Keen now as Peanut dives forward. They look for Canyon and they take him down. The train has left the station, but there's no follow-up. And there's the concussive blows we were looking for. Finally, Chovy shows up, but he is way too late for this party. And Ruler as well, he's even later. I think everyone's well and truly gone home, even the people that stayed the night.
I mean, starting this Baron, though, is super greedy for Hanwha Life. Zeka still has ult. I think they think they can do this. Duro looking for that angle, doesn't have flash, tried to hex flash in, but is avoided.
Yeah, well, Peanut can kind of tank it forever as Chovy's over this wall. Zeka trying to keep him interested as the Baron going down lower and lower. Remember, there's only one smite, and it's going to be Peanut that locks this one down. And now Chovy, he is just dead. Peanut dives forward. He's got the support of the Galio there as well as Duro going to get knocked up and taken down. This Sin's now an absolute monster, even from the grave. Speaking of monsters, Zeka needed to press that arm guard, otherwise...
Now they can just ignore the Otacon attempt from Gen.G, be like, yeah, you can't do it. We have Baron buff, so you have to back away. And if they did try to do it, Zeka's ult's coming back, so they can just easily come over there. They're using the Galio.
Spot. The Otacon down to about 8,000 health as now Peanut's just walking on up here. Teleport in from the Galio, but he's now surrounded. Viper really far away from this fight. And look at the equalizer. Ruler standing right on top of it. Canyon just spinning, having a great time though. Still, the train, it's not going to get past the door. It's so powerful. Duro going to get executed, and even though Viper's dead, it's still looking all right here for HLE. Zeka just as punching his way in. The winds of war coming down as Chovy gonna get tagged. In goes Peanut now as they're trying to find the DPS. Down goes the monkey, and it's a bloodbath in here. Zeka is just untouched, though he cannot take damage on this Galio.
Zeka's potentially in trade here for Gen.G.
Well, we'll see whether they can actually get up here in time as check True Shot Barrage spots out the damage being done here. So Otacon will go over to Gen.G. They have that, but they lose. I mean, I'd hold the wave if I was there. Just get them out of here.
Yeah.
And he is going to do so. Lands on top of Ruler there as well, as he can now start trying to cook him. As Delight, the flanking Braum! And they get on top of Ruler. They're looking to send him home early. He's trying to get these autos down, and finally he will be taken out. But Gen.G, they're fighting back. The True Shot Barrage finally going to be sent over. And this was an absolute Hanwha Esports disaster. Not really what you wanted to see from them. And Gen.G even still have a whole bunch of Otacon buffs as they're looking to break open the base.
Viper here, one man against the world, but I think these Gen.G health bars are just a little too high.
Is it just the end of the game?
I think so.
That's the big question.
I mean, Viper's all out of mana.
Well, we'll see whether he can actually at least send a few of them back. That is first Nexus turret to go down, but these health bars are getting lower and lower. Keen, he's trying to flash in as the Shock Blast goes wide. These health bars, they're barely hanging on. But the Nexus turret loses interest. Another minion wave is going to taxi its way in. And Gen.G, after trying their very best to throw it as far up the pitch as they could, they pull up their bootstraps and they walk up. They
but they are going to opt into it. I think if you consider how well this comp can work, if all parts work together with Mel's long-range poke, the Lilia setup, the barrel chains, also the global that Keen has to impact and set up plenty of mana, so if Keen just teleports here, he can potentially continue to put that pressure on. He is just going to look for a plate and stay. Delight.
Oh dear, Peanut's moving in. There's the Bone Skewer combo as Duro going to get smashed against the wall over and over again. And Viper picks up first blood for the first time in the series.
And Gen.G maintain prio.
Yep. Cannon Barrage being available as well is a huge deal as we find yet another one. Nice little stun onto Duro there as two men still on these grubs. First one has already gone down. We'll see whether Peanut can get himself in there to try and grab at least one of them away. It looks like not going to be the case. And so Gen.G, they secure not only that, but a portion of the feats of strength as well, as now Zeus could be in trouble. Bowling Ball will connect. And now it is sleepy time for the Jax. In goes Delight to try and get him out of there. And in fact, Zeus just leaves able to get him that level 6. Now that pivotal ultimate going to be available. All right, let's see whether Chovy can get the fancy footwork. He cannot, as he's flicked right into the twisted advance. And yes, he presses
through, you know, walking fast towards the team fight. And you're not really front to backing. Your positioning is important, and that's the tricky part of it. But it's not like Yuumi and easy. It's just you don't get to use your AD carry mechanics. So Chovy,
yeah, there we get proof that the Deadly Flourish does work that way. And the rebuttal not going to be available. Death from below comes on through as the Cannon Barrage not going to be enough to take down Delight. And so Viper killing his ex-mid laner from his Griffin days. And Chovy not really finding too much success here on this Mel.
Yeah, may have been able to flash it. I'll watch it back in a minute when we have that replay, but you and I just keep talking about like how Gen.G's comp is hard, and it just keeps being hard, and they keep losing small things.
Well, Peanut is going to give his ex-AD carry a hug, and then just wanders away. Zeka going to be moving down. You can see Canyon able to watch out, eat, and grab that dragon. But now Emperor's Divide going to push Bambi back. He's going to need to flash as now the Bramble Cats are chasing after the deer. And watch out, Eep is going to be able to get enough distance here for the Lilia to survive. FPX circles here towards the bottom side of the map as the Solar Flare is feeling a little bit offhand from Duro. But Zeus not even pressing the Counter-Strike button just yet as he presses it just in the nick of time there. Able to clear out the minion wave and will get himself out of the way. Is Emperor's Divide going to throw Canyon back once again? And unfortunately, he is just dead. Death from below. Delight claiming the extra money at the same time.
Yeah, Duro and Chovy here trying to get this turret on the opposite side. And they do have the faster speed for it. It's not going to be feats of strength if it does go over.
I've seen this movie before as Zeus once again, this time I think just going to die as he does get a bunch of that health back. But still, Chovy, remember, as long as you tag.
Chovy went Archangels first for safety. Gives him a little bit more mana for poke as well, but
Finally.
He's kind of slowed down on hitting some of the big team fight.
I mean, the turret is going to stay alive, but that is still a lot of damage going on down. As I think now they should be able to find the angle as Rebuttal does come on through. If Zeus can survive, it will be so huge. Death from below, and Delight will execute the Mel. And Keen is teleported in. There's that feat of strength. He says, oh, let a pirate take care of it. Yar and stuff like that. As he takes
But he has his passive, right, with his parlay, and he's up 40 CS, has the turret now.
That's called a cast curse, ladies and gentlemen. Chronicler would say that they're not real. However, we have just proved that they are indeed real as Keen overextends and dies.
But, you know, he does pull Peanut back, and they get it. They get multiple kills. And then Keen pushing deep allows him to get this dragon as well, and that is feats of strength over to Gen.G.
We'll be able to get to work on this outer turret towards the top side of the map. We know feats of strength aren't necessarily end of the world, or be-all and end-all, or any of that sort of stuff. Zeus doesn't like this matchup. I think he really liked the pirate matchup. Felt like that one was a good one. This one, not so good, is now Peanut going to be fighting against Duro, who does run out of Eclipse. Delight looking for a bit of an angle there as well, but spots Canyon making his way to help out if there is ever a team fight.
And he has, okay, hold up, Chovy?
Chovy might be in a little bit of trouble here, as the Rebuttal is going to move Delight forward. The FPX logo once again is going to spell death for Delight, and so the Pike looking a little bit silly. Damage there to Chovy is now Keen, possibly in trouble. This is a lot of investment just to try and kill the GP, as Zeka has found Canyon, so maybe he's going to pick that one up instead. Gets the flash out for the Emperor's Dividers. Watch out, Eep is going to be coming on through there, but Canyon cannot stand his ground against this guy. Peanut's now found Duro as the fight's happening all over the place. Zeus manages to take down his opposite number, and now Chovy is surrounded. The call of the curtains there from Viper is going to slow him down, and yeah, death from below is going to spell even more money there at the same time. Duro flashing, but I don't know whether he has anywhere else to go as, oh my god, these bullets. Ruler has said, I want nothing to do with these shenanigans, and I will take an inner turret, but I think HLE, they'll take a whole bunch of kills and possibly get an inner turret of their own.
Yeah, and having this much...
The funniest thing is Viper didn't even notice that the bullet came back and hit him in the head. He just kept shooting. Oh, it was very, very weird. Huge spike.
I mean, he basically can one-shot anybody who gets caught by Peanut, gets caught by Counter-Strike.
He's useless. So that's high praise, is what I'm saying, as he sidesteps beautifully, gets slowed there by the Solar Flare, and also needs to flash to get out of all of Mel's damage. All right, that is some value there from Peanut, who gets the Bramble Smash as well. The Emperor's Divide comes in, and the bullets are raining down. Keen gets popped with just a third one. Remember, it's the fourth that's the most dangerous. Duro trying to run away. The kitty cat not going to be able to chase him down this time. But I think
Zeus is going. He's like, they don't even need me for this. This is so free.
And Canyon, he doesn't have flash. Like, what are you going to be able to do? Nothing. Zero. And Ruler is in his position.
It's a game 3 in Fearless Draft, and I feel like Gen.G's comp is not a comp. Hanwha Life definitely is, and they are punishing hard.
Yep. There's a nice rebuttal there from Chovy, but he's not going to have it for this. As the kitty cats come down, the parade comes on through. Duro just going to get melted as the curtain call is going to be heading towards the enemy base. There's death from below as Delight gets himself out of there very comfortably. Keen. Oh, he's Keen against the world. What it feels like is he just gets thrown back, sandwiched between the wall, and destroyed by this bazooka that Viper has now. Almost 4 items completed. Canyon trying to dance around his base, and Peanut happily tanking up any turret shot that he would like. HLE now just going to push through. This should be match point for them as well over Gen.G. A big difference to what we've seen between these two teams in the group stage of this tournament. still. May not be over just yet as the Solar Flare picks the middle of everyone, and Duro will be dying for it. Delight also going to go down, but I feel like that's been what he's been looking for the majority of the day. As a huge bullet goes into the back of the head of the Lilia once again, and Viper says goodnight to the Nexus. Man, what a Jin performance.
Shen!
All right, that's Shen.
Right.
So Delight is going to be playing the Shen support with the Xayah, and we've got like a whole lot of top laners, and then some other stuff. This is...
Not too.
Yeah, I think we were talking about Carrion was going to play it.
Keen may just want to let that experience go.
Yeah, he's going to flash back towards the turret. Let's see whether this dive is going to work out, as there's Delight just being dead. So first blood goes over to Duro on this support, Camille. And now it might be his turn to die. Let's see how this dive is going to go as they find yet another one. And yeah, he's just dead. Grasping Roots are going to connect, and the flash out from Viper does mean that there's no fall done. Peanut with some free time, and he will be able to deny that feat of strength. So HLE holding on to a very small Silly. It's only Chovy that's second on that one, and he's playing Smolder. So like you were saying, yes, it's a worrying sign for HLE. They look for an angle towards Chovy. Him and Viper doing battle here as 80 carry versus 80 carry. Delight wanted to come on over and stop Canyon from getting this done, but instead they turn onto Duro, who throws down the Hextech Ultimatum. Peanut, the first one to go down, and as he hook shots away, and he stays alive. Into the backline goes Keen as well, and he executes Viper. Duro will eventually fall, but look at Zeus. He's taking so many of these shots, and it's a double kill on the back end for Zeus. He finds the angle, Delight flashes away, but he's still gonna die, and now Ruler finally finding a moment to perform as Zeka gets on top of him, but Ruler says no. He's got another left in the quiver for him, and they'll also claim 5 grubs off the back end.
That, ladies and gentlemen, let's see how many stacks is that right now. 126 at 1230, and Duro's dead. Oh my
pain. Next objective going to be this Cloud Dragon. 27 seconds on that one. As Zeus continuing to dash around, Canyon will be here to make this an unfair fight. We were talking about walls of pain there before. Let's see what they can actually get done here as Duro finds a Hextech Ultimatum. He's kind of by himself. The arrow, it sails by. There's the Requiem as Zeus just reposts it. And there goes Duro. So a nice pickup there for HLE.
Yeah, kill going over the Shen, but still, what looked like a pretty sticky situation is resolved. Chovy is starting to demolish this turret, though.
Yeah, this is the problem, is there's the flash forward from Zeka. Can he actually kill this Smolder as he blocks him? He can't get in. Delight with
the when she doesn't that face up, actually, as it turns out.
I mean, that's the top lane matchup, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely belting ahead.
Yeah, you could see here he's at 157. If you're curious, you can always see it below his portrait.
Herald should now be secured by HLE. We'll see whether they can utilize that to grab themselves some map advantage.
I mean, no one's dying here for Hanwha, but this turret is getting worn down.
Oh, goodness me, the Achu doing so much work as Delight almost just dead as Mom just rains down. There's the taunt onto Duro. Grand challenge is issued, but not actually going to do too much here. So they are going to be able to brute force this inner turret. Let's see what HLE can get done on the other side of this, though, because the Rift Herald has now made its way towards the mid lane. They should be able to stick around and take this one down, although it's taking a bit of time. And Gen.G utilizing the 5 grubs that they picked up as well. Really, really nice.
That's a really big grab for Hanwha Life, because they have the ability now to look for Renekton flanks and try to set up some cool angles of attack to punish Ruler, who likes to overextend. As
it's public execution as Featherstorm comes down. Stranglethorn's coming in there as well as Viper is alive, and Delight just takes down the Ambessa. Requiem is probably going to kill him. Yeah, there he goes, and that is 2 picked up for Gen.G off the back end. You always have to remember, if you limp away, you're going to need a way to stop the beam of light from the sky murdering you.
That was damage, but his Q is getting stronger all the time, even before execute.
And now Zeka is going to try and do it again. This time Duro is in position. Chovy trying to flap some vision available. The problem is that Chovy, as he pokes them out, he's getting more of these stacks. As okay, he goes to Light. They managed to at least pop this Karthus. But remember, he can still do damage. There's the Requiem as they can get onto that healing field if they want to stay alive. As now Zeka getting cut up by Keen, but the Stand United, it's going to be there. Keen goes down eventually. Duro's at full health, but look at Ruler. He's just raining the arrows in. Delight finds it, but not the kill. And Ruler limps away from the fight, but keeps himself alive. And Duro should be able to tank this dragon up as they look to deny that soul point.
This is an addition
to be a little bit upset throughout this one, as Chovy has made it to 229 stacks.
Frog their way in. They're so slow.
Yeah. Can Peanut actually get over as Mom gets angry? Yeah, no, he cannot make it in at all. And now they're just in the wrong spot. Public execution. Yep, right in front of all of his friends. Zeka is going to try and kill someone and does manage to at least send Canyon home. But it's a double kill off the back end. Peanut dead to Ruler, and Zeka follows the same fate. As HLE, I mean, I don't know what this Death Rush is really doing here, as Zeus just trying to keep himself somewhat not dead, as that's a lot of riposte value and does manage to at least send one of them home. Viper, I don't know what that Feather Storm was.
Hey, look, it's usually on the list of ultimates. Pretty over. 6,000 gold lead, a Smolder that's fully stacked and getting more stacks all the time.
Oh, that's a high value Zyra damage as Mum gets mad. Viper is also dead. Keen is just going to kill him, and there's nothing Delight can do about it because he's just taking damage from everyone else. A double kill here for Keen as now Zeka trying to get this value. Sends Chovy home, might be able to do the same thing to Duro, and does so before making his way out of the base gate. Flash over, and in the meantime, Zeus is in a side lane just killing this turret as well as all of the minions. HLE, they lose a lot, but they at least evict a lot of Gen.G. Not Ruler though, who's just going to take this in a turret, and so it's still really bad for HLE.
Yeah, it's I'm trying to look at this game and, you know, oh, well, this could be an angle maybe. Ruler. He does have withdraw still.
Yeah, he may be withdrawing at this point in time. Yeah, he just goes down. In fact, yeah, just wore off, and now Canyon's also dead. Peanut, he's going to eat a Skittle, and that is not one that he finds too delicious. Zay's going to need to riposte, does so to avoid the Requiem, as Keen looking for some immediate revenge. Zay's trying to be that hero, and he does blast cone his way to relative safety.
One last Hail Mary. Peanut.
Yeah, Peanut, can you actually get in there? The answer's probably going to be no, as they do manage to lock down the Baron. Now Zeka trying to do what he can. Chovy is just dead though, as Peanut locks that one up. That's a great arm guard to keep himself safe. But that 1-for-1 still going to kind of work in favor of HLE. The problem is that Gen.G managed to get themselves the Baron, and so they get the prize.
Yeah,
and will Soul Point actually be enough to alleviate that, especially with Peanut at 100 health,
Can
making
they
everyone
even
nervous?
Get Soul Point is the real question. Requiem says
oh yeah,
no.
Peanut's just dead. Stand United, that's going to be enough to save him. Okay, eating some honey fruit here as well.
But
and
they lose the dragon,
They
though.
lose the dragon, yeah.
Yeah. It was cool, though. Delight, he's playing well, you know?
Yeah.
He his buttons the right way. It just, that was never for sure. He's looking good once again.
Well, let's see what they can actually find as Peanut doesn't get the grasping roots. Decent Shadow Dash there from Delight to get Duro out of there, but Duro doesn't really mind about losing a bit of his health bar. He's going to head back, and the rest of Gen.G will be wiping out this turret. HLE on the ropes well and truly, and the Fiora is in a side lane because, of course, team fighting Fiora means you're probably losing the game. Going to get Zeus on top of Canyon right now. Keen is moving so quickly to get on over, and he's interrupted! Oh no, Zeus 1 versus 3, I don't know about this one, still able to take down Canyon! That is massive, and he's still alive! My God, Delight gets in there, that's why he was able to survive for so long! And Duro almost dead, but is going to be able to take down his opposite number. Some absolute heroics here for HLE, but they are on death's door, even if they are flailing about in a pretty cool way.
Yeah, that was really cool, but it isn't going to change the outcome here in this game. Maybe in an even game state, maybe in an even draft. Not in this scenario, as Chovy is just going to start AoEing them down. Every burn hurts.
Oh my goodness, yeah, exactly. Look at that, sneezed on Viper, and he had to go back up into the sky once again. As I don't know whether a recall of some feathers is going to be enough to stop them from just tearing this base apart. Another conga line of minions is going to move in from the top side as Keen dashing around in circles of Stranglethorns. Not going to really get anything done. And all right, now we're flashing forward, looking for some opportunities as the Requiem does come on through, and that is going to take down at least Delight. Ruler is just kiting out the Renekton, who is free food for these 80 carries. Zeus trying to be the fed Fiora that he wants to be, but he's like that Fiora that says they're a smurf in your iron solo queue game. Sometimes they're just not good enough to get it done, and it doesn't happen this time either.
Game 5.
And that's
and
Cannon.
Then Cannon. And potentially 80 Cannon in this draft. It could be, but, you know, it's not the most...
Was that what Kingen did?
Yeah, it's not the most magic damage ever with Silas in the mid lane. Here, it's not a pick that we associate with him as much as some of his other melee picks, but he is very good at it, and he's showing why.
Oh God, Chovy, remember, doesn't have flash, but instead they just turn immediately onto Canyon. I don't know whether you needed to do that, Peanut, but he is able to get
Atlas. and Ruler is on a Doran's Blade, so if I hit my sweet spots, I can trade really well with my passive. Chovy's in trouble. Still no flash, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Has to Kingslayer his way over. Delight's going to turn up. That means that he's definitely dead. And that is 0. Oh, Grubs are going to spawn. Peanut in position. Delight now going to move over. The most terrifying little Yordle with a hammer. And Viper only level 6, so doesn't quite have the ultimate available, but there is the pick-off, and Duro, he is burning, and Viper is going to be able to pick up the kill. That is feats of strength, and so much value here as now Rule underneath his top outer turret. And I had some doubts about this draft, but so far it's working so well. Unless Chovy can do something about it, both of them.
Because this is like the lowest he's ever been, basically.
Oh god, the interruption that was blind avoids the chains as well. Flashes out of the slicing maelstrom, and he's still probably going to die as Canyon's going to turn up. Umbral dash over the wall though. As he's out of mark range, this is insane. Gets the knock up onto Keen, and I don't think he's got another charge. As meanwhile, on the other side of the rift, Ruler is getting torn to shreds here by Peanut, but he's able to slink off, gets into stealth. Duro maybe not so lucky, as Viper presses the ultimate button, and there is the kill. So 1-for-1 in the extended trade, and I have to say, nicely played, Zeus, even if you did still die.
Yeah, no, he didn't have a blast cone or anything to get away from there. I thought perhaps like with the way the observer was panning that there was something that happened, but no, it was, everyone else was topside. He was left to die, but they find success, and they're looking for a redive here on the Ruler.
Yep, Delight is just going to push Ruler away, and Ruler is too greedy, and he's just going to die.
Greed is kind of
He will back away.
Yeah, that's going to be the Dragon going over to Gen.G, which will be 1 feat of strength or one part of that feat of strength for them. But plate gold everywhere else. I mean, this gold lead is expanding. Zeus, no flash, 4 people.
There's the World Ender. He's just looking to clear out these minions if he can, but he will just be exploded. There goes that kill. Viper with some free time. 6 grubs to nothing.
Yeah, and it's unfortunately, I feel like the problem is that you've already kind of fallen behind.
Just to dodge all of these abilities that are going everywhere. Nice little dodge with the Kingslayer to get himself out of the way as another Infernal Chain's coming on through. Surely Peanut's going to hit one of them as the turret just goes down. 6 grubs, ladies and gentlemen. And they are just getting bullied out of their own jungle, and the result of it is their structures just lying.
I hope there's an overextension, but with the mobile champions we have, we're talking about Nidalee, Ahri, Zeri, and to a lesser extent, Aatrox is decently mobile himself.
Well, here's a heroic charge as Viper's making his way in. Duro looking to try and stop him, but Ruler is dead. That was mostly praying, not a whole lot of spraying.
And we liked, you know, some of the aspects of Gen.G's
worried about this draft as well, as Viper is in melee range against a Viego, and he just pieces out. Delight can go for the 1v1 if you'd like to. The double teleports as Canyon going to get flashed on. And that is that darkened, the cool button that Zeus has access to on his passive, and Chovy and Keen turn up a little bit too late to stop anything from happening.
The dodges in this game, but not real. Keen's going for it.
And look at that, Delight sacrificing himself. Chovy did steal away Viper's ultimate, and that is going to be able to take that kill as the step bust presence is so good from Delight. Still, the chains come down, and Chovy tanking too many turrets here in order to stay alive as Zeka comes in and says no more funny business. But Gen.G have been able to find some value unless this charm is going to spell the end of everything. Because remember, this means resets, and Zeka is dashing after Ruler now. The Orb of Deception doesn't get that true damage, as Ruler does have the ultimate back up and available once again. Expunge not quite going to be there.
Fortunately, and Zeka just continues to chase them down.
All right, Zeka could be in trouble. Chain's going to connect there as Duro gets the stun. Charm goes wide, and that is 700 and something like that going over to Chovy as Zeus is teleported in. Duro is dead, ladies and gentlemen, and Chovy, I think, is going to follow suit. There he goes. Okay, so the answering 2 kills.
Behind on Colby shouldn't be able to get that, but now you're losing the map.
Oh, Keen going a little bit aggressive here as Zeus does get stunned off, and Zeus just pops him. That is going to be the kill going over to Light somehow, and Duro realizing that there is no avenue in whatsoever. Canyon down to 50%, Ruler trying to do damage where he can, and look at this brick wall of an Aatrox. Delight goes in, double knock up is gigantic. Duro in that backline, zoning out Viper quite nicely as the rest of Gen.G have grouped back up. but Zeus is still alive. He's healing over and over again. The team fighting Peanut Nidalee is actually working, and finally, Zeka shows up to clean up the battle.
Back in, but Duro on the flank is massive. Speaking of flanks.
Oh, that's a heroic judge. Into a charm, and Duro's dead. Not a whole lot that he can do about that one, as he does buy a fair bit of time as the teleport is coming into the top lane. They know that there is no way that they can fight this. And HLE are also just taking a dragon at the same time. It's as if they're the only ones on the map right now, as they will be able to take this one down. Top side is maybe where they'll be able to find some semblance of an answering kill or something objective. But I just don't know about that. Zeus going to be able to clear things out. Zeus also has been... okay, never mind. He's just going to face check two people. Zeka going to move over, and there's the explosion. And down goes Canyon. No resets for you. Chovy as well, finding himself point blank into this Aatrox, who will just take a little bit of a avenue out of there. Viper explodes, that's gonna kill the rat, and now he's just looking to press that burst fire button over and over again. He's got carpal tunnel, but he's also got a triple kill, and maybe make that a quadra. Never mind, it's gonna be taken there by Peanut.
He's basically trying to get on top of the sky, but he gets knocked up by the Poppy. Chovy goes in.
Oh, Chovy actually finding that withdraw angle, pretty impressive.
It was impressive, but like trying to make some use of it.
All right, Grand Starfall, as Duro is in the mid lane.
Yeah.
And Zeka is also in the mid lane. Keen is going to be the first one to be targeted as Delight pushes Chovy away. Duro is also going to explode the double kill for the Ahri, as the spray and pray was trying to work, but unfortunately the Twitch just does not do enough. And look at Zeka having a field day. It's a quadra. Oh God, is he gonna get another game 5 pentakill? Canyon is going to say absolutely not. That would be ridiculous. 2 best of 5s in a row. Yeah. No, no, no.
Canyon is the pentakill denier, as we've learned.
Yes, be it his own team or the enemy.
Well, this last game was a bit of a wash, Atlas.
It certainly was, but it was some impressive plays. There's a heroic charge. Zeka, unofficial denial of the pentakill by Delight. You'll love to see it. Nexus turrets. Number 1 going to go down. Number 2 still standing. HLE.
Pretty hard. And Ruler may just simply go down.
Oh dear. Well, Zeka is very charming, as we know.
Indeed. 25 stacks of Magi's. He hurts hard.
He does.
It's not. You're not allowed to have full stacks. That's not supposed to happen in pro. But he's done it.
Oh, Zeus is standing on a ward. And now everyone's going to dive in. Viper is going to turn up as Chovy. Look at that. He's flailing with his chains out. And unfortunately, HLE are way too far ahead. Zeus can face check basically anything he wants as the slicing maelstrom does nothing. It's the tickling electric static circle. It's not really doing anything much at all. And HLE, I think, don't need a Baron. They just need to kill this last remaining Nexus turret to bring them to a date with D+ Kia in our winners final here for the LCK Cup. Ruler spraying, praying, but he's gonna have to utilize a lot of those prayers against Nongshim to keep Gen.G alive here in this tournament.
It was a slow start for Hanwha Life Esports here in 2025, but man, have they ramped up. 2 Game 5 wins in critical series where so many champions are removed from play. They got duped in the Game 4 draw.